Ukrainian tank losses diminish as Polish technicians save more and more damaged Leopard 2s.
Here's a summary of the article.
If Kyiv's forces or friends can fix up every tank analysts have counted as damaged, losses of Leopard 2 tanks might total 3. After weeks of dithering, early this week German tank makers Rheinmetall and Krauss-Maffei Wegmannand, and Polish holding company Polska Grupa Zbrojeniowa, or PGZ, inked a deal allowing PGZ to repair Ukrainian Leopard 2s. Rheinmetall, KMW is famously strict about enforcing its ownership of the Leopard 2 design. While there are foreign factories for producing and upgrading licensed Leopard 2s, PGZ for one produces uniquely Polish Leopard 2 PLs by deeply upgrading German-manufactured Leopard 2A4s from the 1980s. Every major Leopard 2 initiative requires a fresh contract. Several battle-damaged Ukrainian Leopard 2A4s already were waiting in Poland when the Poles and Germans finally hammered out a compromise. The Ukrainian army appears to have lost just one Leopard 2A4. That's a total write-off. In the worst case, the Ukrainians have lost a third of their best Leopard 2s. But only if the 5 damaged A6s are impossible to repair. By the time all 240 Leopard 1, Leopard 2, M1 and Challenger 2 tanks reach Ukraine, possibly early next year, there could be as many as 5 foreign repair centers supporting the fleet.
This post received a score of 7,700, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Anyone else have this mental image of an angry Polish mechanic beating a tank back into shape with pure hatred of Russia and a sledgehammer?
Well, I do now, and I am not complaining.
Luckily you don't have to imagine. Well, at least not the extremely angry Polish man dealing with broken armored vehicle part.
I knew it was Andre, at.
Thanks to the Polish brothers.
Tanks.
Do you have gas? Only after eating golaki.
Go. BKI is great no matter what.
I thought I had some weird, tiny, smudges on my screen with that word until I scrolled and realized it was part of the font, haha. That's the whole thing about most of the Western kit. We value the soldier so much and combat losses are so unacceptable that all our shit is overbuilt.
To be entirely fair to Russia, a lot of their tank losses in similar situations weren't catastrophic destruction as a result of the engagement either. The difference here is that Ukrainian forces were able to advance past many of the disabled tanks and recover them, while many Russian tanks would be eventually captured by Ukraine, or destroyed if in a position where nobody could capture or recover it. Even when Russia was making ground at the start of the war, they would often prematurely scuttle their tanks for some reason. There's way too many videos from the start of the war of Russian tanks being mobility killed, but be otherwise fine, and the rest of the Russian forces advancing through the area, only for later photos of the results showing those tanks to be a charred mess.
Also, especially at first, most Ukrainian kills of Russian tanks were top-down with jabs. Tanks don't tend to survive that. Later on, most tank kills were from HIMARs and similar artillery, which can cause mobility kills, and if advancing means Ukraine can recover them.
Well, no, Ukraine didn't have that many javelins at the start. This was where the premature scuttling was occurring. Their older systems would disable tanks but not destroy them. There was a period afterwards with lots of javelins, NLAWs and TB2 kills, and I'm pretty sure even Western tanks wouldn't survive those. Keep in mind I mentioned specifically similar situations, which is direct assaults against enemy positions. Other common situations Russian tanks have found themselves in are not comparable because Ukraine has thus far not been stupid enough to put their tanks in those positions.
Javelins aim for the center of the tank, if I recall correctly. On Soviet-designed tanks that means they go through the turret roof and hit the ammo, leading to it cooking off. Western designs haven't had ammo under the turret, wrong, for 40 years. So no cooking off either, which means the tank might still be repairable.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.